Good morning and welcome to Kid News. I'm Tori. Today is Tuesday, April 26, 2022. And we begin with the richest man in the world expanding his empire. After a week or two of will he or won't he, Elon Musk officially bought Twitter yesterday, adding the social media giant to his other high-profile holdings, Tesla and SpaceX. Twitter was first against the sale, but his $44 billion offer was basically so strong the board could not walk away from it. In a statement, Mr. Musk said, "Twitter has tremendous potential. I look forward to working with the company and the community of users to unlock it. The deal should be finalized by late summer or early fall." We have an update to a story we reported last week on the plane swap stunt that was attempted by two cousins this past weekend. Luke Akins and Andy Farrington took off Sunday evening over Arizona and, about an hour into the flight, jumped out of their planes. But while Luke successfully got into the other plane, Andy did not. His plane spiraled out of control, so he deployed his parachute and safely landed in a remote area. The plane also had a parachute that automatically opened when it got to a certain altitude, so it too touched down without crashing. The two are relieved no one was hurt and are going to figure out what went wrong before they decide whether to try the plane swap stunt again. After a quick visit to Ukraine, U.S. Defense Secretary Austin said Russia had suffered significant military losses from its invasion of that country, and the Pentagon wants to see Russia weakened so it cannot do the kind of things it had done in invading Ukraine. Mr. Austin was joined on this trip by Secretary of State Blinken, who added Russia has failed in its goal of destroying the Ukrainian state and that U.S. diplomats would soon be returning to that country, opening the U.S. Embassy in the capital city of Kyiv in a few weeks. The happiest place on earth may not be feeling too happy at the moment. For the last 55 years, Disney World had a special arrangement with the Florida government that gave the theme park lots of perks that other companies don't get, like not having to pay as much in taxes and letting it govern its 25,000-acre complex near Orlando any way it saw fit. But last week, Governor Ron DeSantis canceled that deal over a disagreement on a recently passed education bill. So far, Disney has not responded. The company could apply to reestablish its special status, but several governors have invited Disney World to pick up and move to their state instead. The Gothic ruins that inspired the book Dracula are hoping to celebrate the 125th anniversary of the novel's release with a special event. Whitby Abbey is located in North Yorkshire, England, and was originally a monastery built in the 600s. The author of Dracula, Bram Stoker, visited the site in 1890. On May 26, the Abbey will attempt to break the world record for the largest gathering of people dressed as vampires, which is currently set at 1,039 after an event in Virginia in 2011. Entry to the Abbey will be free for all those wearing traditional vampire fancy dress, which means black pants or skirt, black shoes, a waistcoat, a shirt, and a black cape or collared overcoat. And of course, don't forget your fangs. That's it for Kid News. Today's Kid News quiz is generously sponsored by the Clark family of Raleigh, North Carolina. Killian and Mom want to wish a happy 12th birthday to Finn, who they describe as sweet, creative, and brave. Happy birthday, Finn! Now, today's quiz. Who just officially bought Twitter? Elon Musk. Why did a plane swap stunt not work? One of the planes spiraled out of control. The U.S. will soon be sending diplomats back to what city in Ukraine? Kyiv. To celebrate the novel Dracula, people are invited to go to the abbey that inspired the novel, dressed up as what? Vampires. In our Kid News Kicker, do you know someone who loves toy cars? Turns out they're not just for kids. The head of a giant supermarket chain in Australia, 45-year-old John Paul Drake, has built an impressive toy car collection with 718 models, all set up in a custom-made display unit in one of his offices. His favorites are a Hot Wheels Super Treasure Hunt Edition and an orange Lexus LFA. Mr. Drake says he's loved cars since he was a kid, and though he can't buy this many real cars, he can at least buy the die-cast models. Mr. Drake added he has the display unit at his office since his wife won't let him keep the toy cars at their home. Thanks again to the Clark family of Raleigh, North Carolina for sponsoring today's quiz. Happy birthday to Finn, and a big hello to Mrs. Hahn at Abbott's Creek Elementary and Finn's teachers at East Millbrook Middle School. We also want to give a shout out to some of our other terrific teachers, Mrs. Strickland and her fabulous fifth graders at Parkview Christian in Eufaula, Alabama. Mrs. Hines, whose class listens to KidNuz every morning at North Polk Central in Alman, Iowa. Ms. S. at Hopi Day School on the Hopi Reservation at Kaikatsmovie, Arizona. In California, Mr. Sullivan at Pearl Zanker in Milpitas, and Mrs. Ochoa, whose students continue to soar at R.J. Nutra in Lemoore. Thanks for listening. It really helps if you rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. We hope you tune in for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.